9:09 right now. People Station V103, home of the Ryan Kevin Morning Show with Wanda Smith. Fight the power.
Yes.
Chuck D in the building.
I know.
DJ Lord in the building.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Good morning, Chuck.
Good morning.
Ryan. Good morning, Ryan. With DJ Lord, my brother, who introduced me to hip hop. I used to chase out of our room. Get that music out of here. I want to be a sportscaster.
Oh.
And
That's what he said.
Get that music out of here.
Get that music out of here. Get that hip hop out of here in 1976. Here I am.
Here you are, man.
That's the second fight the power, people. You got to know your music history because in our music is our history. So first, this goes out to everybody out there to V103. The first Fight the Power was made by who and what year? And who's the lead singer?
So you coming in here doing trivia?
Well, anytime somebody asks me to speak, I'm going to actually be worth it. Do I get the free headphones or what?
No free headphones, Chuck D.
You know, Ryan, I've been a fan of yours for like how long now? Like
we go back
30 years?
We go back.
Wow.
Yeah. Chuck has always been very supportive. I always tell the story, man, when they did the Lifetime, I get, you get one of them get plaques and albums. And
I walked it right to your crib. I walked it right up to Ryan's crib. He said, who's this knocking on the door?
He gave me to have Chuck D give me my platinum Lifetime, support of Public Enemy, man. That was like big. I always tell people, the one thing about social media that's good is like when you follow people and they follow you back and you can get to them, it bypasses all of the foolishness. And I hit Chuck.
Get to him means a different thing these days.
I know, that's true. You're right about that. If you get in contact with them. Is that better?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've learned from you.
You've learned? I wanted, to have you guys on because of all the things that are happening. And really, I wanted to pick up with the conversation we were just having.
You would have to give us a station.
Okay.
To discuss all this stuff
off the
going on
mic.
now.
But just talk about what we talking about, the relationship with all the different counties and the police and the way they do business. Like, there is no unity. It's all like we are separate. This is Henry County. This is Floyd County. And I don't know what they do in Douglasville, but this,
it's not really a United States of America. The thing when it comes down to policing, there's no national agenda unless they unite when it's the worst that happens.
Right.
But there should be a national agenda and a national training. And then you also got to know that counties have their own jurisdiction and their own way. People know, especially black folks know, that when you leave one county and go into another county, the temperature changes.
No doubt.
And you hear a judge or somebody say, or even an officer that might pull you over, might even be bold enough to say in many places in this country, like, well, I don't know what goes on in that county, but we don't do that over here. And this is part of the problem in the narrative on how do we repair the relations between authority and civilians, and especially the black community. So when these incidents popped out, they popped up in outer counties, be it a Ferguson, be it on the outskirts of Baton Rouge. I'm not too sure about that, but the one in Minnesota was definitely that. And when you deal with Atlanta's a different dynamic than any of that, because you got people that grew up and then they happen to have that as their job, and so their understanding is that they live pretty much in the same community that they police. So it's not, in cases, it's not really like that slave patrol thing. So it's part of the things that are being talked about and also misunderstood, because in every state you got these counties, and every county got their own ego trip going on. Right. And this is why it's important. Voting is important. In your county, you need to know who that judge is. You need to know
who the sheriff
is. Right. Usually they in smaller counties, and we know in Georgia, they'd be in those counties running for office, and there'd be nobody running
unopposed.
Unopposed.
Yeah.
So that's something to pay attention when you have a narrative that has to go and discuss something so serious, such as police brutality, homelessness, health care. The United States is united when it wants to be. You can't get a license in 2 states. I'm in 3 states. I only have 1 license. I got to come back to Georgia, get my license, and use it for national identification.
9:13 right now. DJ Lord, Chuck D is in the building live. Watch V103.com. Chuck, the Black Lives Matter movement, Donald Trump trying to single it out. They want to call it a terrorist group.
It's a shame we even mentioned his name.
But, like a year ago.
Cheap casinos.
Right. But, there it is. There's a nominee. What do you think about all of that?
What I think about, in a nutshell?
Yeah.
Number one, the fear is the people that actually will vote for him no matter what he says. That's the fear.
Yeah.
The fear is not him. I mean, he'll pretty much box himself out. You know, he'll run out of breath by the time he gets to November or whatever. But the fear is the atmosphere that believes in that no matter what. I mean, I was up in Cleveland. It was that high school that you go to that, you know, you whooping their team.
Right.
You know, it could be the black team whipping the other team.
Right.
You know, on their floor.
And it takes a turn.
And it takes a turn. They start throwing bananas on the court. You know, that was that type of rally that was going on inside Cleveland. And I was like, man, this is like 11th grade all over again in some places. And that's what the GOP turned to. That party's over, man. But that doesn't mean the attitude is not festering even at greater heights that we've seen before. So it's beyond that. So it's a hash mark, stay woke. That's the best thing you could do. The cheapest price to pay is attention, Ryan.
What do you think, DJ Lord?
I co-signed it. I was in Cleveland with him, and we were bugging. It's like we stepped back in time.
Yeah, and we're in town because we curated part of the curation of Art of Rap, which is one of the finest films and documentaries on the art form of hip hop and rap music. We played Saturday, Ice-T and Sugar Hill Gang and Grandmaster Melly Mel and Scorpio, EPMD, Naughty by Nature, and so on. And I stayed around for a couple of days, pay taxes, eat my mom's food, you know, be with family. My birthday and Griff's birthday was Monday. We turned 5'6".
Happy birthday, Griff.
Yeah, so
Professor
50,
Griff, what's up, man?
56. That means you ain't taking no junk from nobody.
Exactly.
But also myself and DJ Lloyd, part of one of the biggest rock groups in the world already, and that's Prophets of Rage, which is a combination of Public Enemy, Cypress Hill, and Rage Against the Machine members. And we'll be back through here. And before I come back after that, you know, we actually play that. But before that is Sankofa, which is Harry Belafonte's.
We talked to him last week.
Yeah, so we'll be here at the top of October and participate in that.
For Sankofa, is it performances?
Yep.
And also, you know, talking to the people about, like, people kept saying, what do we do next? What are we doing now? Is that kind of like a combination of all of this?
Yeah. But I think, you know, our music works amongst our people, especially black folk. Our music has more significance when, you know, see, our story and our resonation is in our music. We follow our music more,
right,
you know, inherently. So that's why music is important. If it says a lot of nothing and it actually is the music from us that's promoted the most,
right,
then when it's transparent, and we do all kinds of music out there, and it's all kinds of our words and our directions in our music. But when it comes down to the stations or the TV, you know, they reduce it to something that's been safe, and we're not in such safe times. Our music could speak volumes, and our artists out there have done wonderful things. So the promotion and the projection of that music is very important at this time. So that's what Sankofa will probably do, is say, look, we're going to bring everybody together. We're not going to give you a life map.
Right.
I mean, nobody can give somebody a life map 31 years old. We're going to tell you how to, you know, wear deodorant, you know,
right,
how you know, how to raise your, I mean, that's got to be something that those basics got to be kind of inherent and reinstituted, I mean, from 25 and under. So when Black Lives Matter actually speaks out, it's a defensive movement. It's not an aggressive offensive movement. Yeah, you might have individuals in there that says, you know what, I'm tired, I'm going to be offensive today.
Right.
But it's really one of those statements of when they say all lives matter should have a question mark after it. You know, all lives matter, the simple answer to that is like, all lives matter, but if we don't matter, no lives matter. That ends that, you know? So black lives do matter because we haven't mattered across, you know, the history of our free times.
Right.
And when, you know, so, I mean, so anyway, I think in a nutshell, what I've discussed, whether it's the authority, the policing, where it is, the Trumpism, and just the whole thing of the hypocrisy that people feel that with the Democrats, you know, people got to understand is just stay woke, collect, and we as a people, as a collective community, could come up with better answers than we are as individuals.
If someone were to ask you, do you think, Chuck D, that this election is more important than when we had Barack Obama running for president, what would you say? because we saw black people stand in line for hours to cast their ballot. We saw them go in and get their grandmamas and their sisters. And
We came out.
We showed up and showed out.
Showed up, showed out, and came together.
Right.
The whole key is when somebody runs for the president or anything or any elected office, you got to stay together. Even more together once they're in there.
Right.
Because collective communities are the only ones that could put pressure on whoever they voted in.
Right.
And I don't think, and this is for various reasons, we weren't as collected. We kind of like anticipated things. And that's just, there's reasons for that.
Right.
But you got to even stay tighter than ever once somebody's in. I remember back in New York when David Dinkins was elected the first black mayor of New York City. Other communities, they grouped up and they put pressure on the mayor's office. We kind of like, well, he's a black mayor, so, and he had a head and a heart, but he had to tend to those other accountabilities first. Because those communities come and say, we want this and we want that. So, and, when you talk about nationally, what have we done as a unit of people together that was symbolic? That was the vote. What did we do afterwards? Well, it's scattered. It's a whole bunch of things that we did, but nothing as big as the coming together to vote. Here's something, for example, if I had to just say something just quick and shut myself up, I just believe that every black person in the United States should have a passport that can get one. If you don't have a passport, right? She
says that all the time.
Say it all. Nothing stopping you. We get hair done. We get rims. Cats get clothes. You ain't got a passport. How much passport? There's a man right there sitting next to me, right? He's been through 3 of them. The most traveled person ever. He goes to Jakarta and all. I've been to 106 countries. He's catching up, but he actually goes and stays. DJ Lord,
yes,
how much does a passport cost?
You can get a passport for about $89.
$89.
Simple.
Right? 30% of United States, USAers, I don't call just Americans because this is all America, Caribbean, South America, North America. So you got to have audacity to think you could claim it, right? USAers, right? 30%. And I think it's really 27% got passports. That means 73% of the population here ain't going no damn place or ain't thinking that. We as a people at least could connect to the diaspora symbolically and think global, act local.
Right.
That's something symbolic we can do as much as saying we're going to vote somebody in.
Right.
And when President Obama was in, he was in 8 years, he's going to actually throw the behind the back, you're the sports guy, throw behind the back passes, right, with a wink. You don't catch it and go out of bounds, right? That's your fault too. So, that's what we had for 8 years, knowing that you ain't going to get no telegraph passes.
Right.
So that's all in a nutshell. But yeah, Prophets of Rage coming back through here in October, and Sankofa at the top of October, and Harry Belafonte, one of our heroes who co-elected us in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2013, is one of the greatest days of our music lives, along with Spike Lee doing that day.
And we're talking about what you
reading
just
up
touched
on me, Ryan?
No, I'm just talking about what the president just did. He just commuted the sentences of 214 more federal inmates yesterday.
Yep.
562 total, sentences commuted during his presidency. Like you said, that's that behind the back.
My mom doesn't think he's going to free Mumia Abu-Jamal. I think he might, but I'm going to keep my fingers crossed. But anyway, y'all don't know who Mumia Abu-Jamal is. You got a phone. If you got a phone, be smarter than your phone for once and understand that it's a tool as much as a toy. You can look up anything. Remember back in the day, Ryan, you asked somebody about somebody, you ain't even got to spend time. Go to your phone, which is really close to you.
In your hand right now.
In your hand.
Always.
You can't ever diss Wiki. Wiki, at least, you come up with something, come up better than a guess. So the answers are at our hip, at our side. And you got to watch out for these things. Like my friend Prince said, he said, if you don't manage technology, it will master you.
Rest in peace.
So we all got these things on us. And so let's use them, at least, as much as you have fun with them and taking ussies and selfies, and which is cool. But I saw somebody 61 the other day trying to take a, I'm like, you 61, man. It's like,
taking a selfie?
See it, right? 61. I'm like, we in a time where somebody 53, like, I got to get the new Jordans.
Right.
I'm like, really?
Crazy.
For real?
Chuck D, DJ Lord. Thanks, Chuck. You did what you said you was gonna do.
What?
Showed up.
Yeah,
Showed
man.
up.
Man, I didn't. You know me, man. I just wish it was like 8 o'clock. I'm like, damn, there's 2 7 o'clocks.
9:24 right now. Thanks, Chuck. We appreciate you, man.
ChuckD at publicenemy.com. Email me. Hit me on Twitter at Mr. Chuck D. DJ Lord Official on Twitter.
Yes, sir.
And my brother E. You know, got a bunch of different things coming up, and I think I'm in the win on my way to Nashville.
There you go. This hour brought to you by Kia. Kia Motors. Check out the all new Optima. Go to atlkia.com and get more details. All right, Jim Basile.
Brian Cameron.
What's going on?